Good day, class, and welcome to another time in class with Miss Great. And I'll be taking you on this topic titled Civic Responsibility. Our lesson objective for this lesson is by the end of the lesson, you learners must be able to define civic responsibility and its importance. Explain the biblical basis for civic order according to the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 1 to 7. Understand the Christian perspective of submission to authority. 4. Highlight how those in authority must serve with the fear of God. Introduction. Civic is the study of the rights and responsibilities of citizenship. Now, civic responsibilities are duties of citizens for peace, unity, and progress in our society and beyond. Now, let's take a look at a subtopic titled The Need for Order in the Society. 1. Every authority is established by God. We all need to know that every authority on earth is established by God. Be you a man, a woman, a child, an animal, or any other thing. Every authority that is placed upon each and every one of us is established by God. 2. To resist authority is to resist God's ordinance. Whenever we resist authority, we are resisting the ordinance of God in our lives. 3. Disobedience attracts God's judgment. Whenever we are disobedient, we face the wrath of God. Let's look at the importance of being law abiding. 1. Christians should live righteously and avoid trouble. As Christians, we must always live a righteous life and always do everything in our possible means to avoid getting into trouble. 2. Obeying laws honors God and promotes peace. Whenever we obey the law, be it the law of God or the law of the state, in our school, in our society, it honors God and also brings peace to our society. Let's look at the role of conscience in civic duty. Submission to authority should be out of conscience and no fear. Whenever we're submitting to authority, our parents, our siblings in the school, the government, we should do it from our heart and not because we are scared or we just feel like we need to do it. It should come from the heart because every one of us has a conscience. So whenever we tend to not obey authority or submit to certain authorities, most of us feel like it's because of fear or it's nothing. We should always make sure that whatever we do to obey the law must come from the heart. 2. St. Paul encourages Christians to fulfill civic duties honestly. According to the Bible, it says St. Paul urges we Christians that we must always fulfill the civic duties wholeheartedly. Submission to authority. 1. St. Paul emphasizes obedience to human institution. Whenever we are obedient, we obey all laws. Obeying authorities align with God's will. Let's look at the case of Noah when God told Noah that he should carry all animals, be it female, he should build an ark and pack everybody into the ark. If he had not obeyed, all of them would have been swept by the flood. But because he obeyed, God made sure that nothing happened to them. Okay, there are diverse reasons for which we need to submit to authority, but let's look at these three. To maintain peace and order in the society. 2. To silence critics and ignorant men. 3. To honor God through responsible citizenship. Whenever we submit to authority, we are honoring God through that means. People in authority must fear God. 1. Authority is permitted by God and should reflect in His justice. 2. Those in power should rule with humility and fairness. Okay, let's take an instance whereby we have a prefect that is being impartial in passing of judgment. That such person is not ruling with fairness. He's just ruling because he has that power and he wants to rule, and it is not good. In every of our positions that we hold, we must learn to be humble and also be fair. Let's look at the biblical view on authority. 1. Authority figures are seen as God's servants for good. Yes, that's we have our president, we have the governor, we have the pastors, we have our teachers, we have the proprietors, we have prefects, and we have mentors that mentor us and all of that. Whenever these people attain these positions, we should see them that they are God's servant to help us in every area of life that we find them. 2. Faithful governance reflects God's justice and love. Whenever one is faithful in his governing, maybe as a president, a teacher, a school authority, it reflects God's justice and love. Okay, let's look at the concluding part of our wonderful topic. One, civic responsibility promotes peace, order, and godly living. Yes. Two, Christians should obey laws and respect authorities. As Christians, as students, as human beings, we should always learn to obey laws and respect authorities. Two, no, three, authorities must rule justly and with the fear of God. As a human being, whenever you ascertain any position, you must learn to rule justly with the fear of God, humbly, and also you must be fair in your passing of judgment. Okay, here is a take home assignment for you students that you must practice in your leisure time. One, define civic responsibility. Two, summarize Romans chapter 13, verse 1 to 7 in your own words. Three, list three reasons why Christians should obey authority. Four, explain why people in authority should serve with the fear of God. Thank you for listening. Thank you for also having me in class today. Make sure to practice civic responsibility anywhere you find yourself. See you in the next class.